AirAsia is an airline whose praises I've been singing, not so much on the channel, but in general for the past 10 years or so. I used to use them to fly around Southeast Asia quite often for their reliability, their network, and their onboard food. But now they've thrown a wrench into the mix for me. What is quite possibly the most uncomfortable seat ever on their new A321neos. By the way, if you're ever curious about the price that I paid for this flight, or the equipment that I use on a daily basis while traveling and creating, all of that can be found in the description below. Let me welcome any of you that might be new to the channel. My name is Kevin. I'm here to give you a self-funded and honest look at some of the best, most unique, or simply most popular airlines and hotels in the world, which I've been bringing to you full-time for 5 years now. I'd love for you to know more about how I do things on the channel, so simply scan the QR code or check out one of my hundreds of videos to do so. Let's get into the trip report. We are in Manila, heading to Terminal 3. Now, I don't want to turn this video into a crap on everything in sight for 10 minutes extravaganza, so let me quickly just tell you about the joys of Manila's International Airport. I've flown out of Terminals 1 and 2 numerous times. They're not great terminals, but I'd always heard or been told, just go to Terminal 3, it's much better. To which I say, by what metric? Amazingly, this terminal, which opened in 2008, was designed by the famed Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, and can be described in 2 words: unnecessarily overcrowded. I'd rather be back in Terminal 2. Manila, I love you. This airport, all of it, not so much. Moving on. I went to the very convenient carry-on only check-in line. I had purchased an extra check-in bag, giving me 14 kilos of allowance to carry on. I was at 14.45 kilos though, and so I was forced to check in one by the desk agent hiding behind the signs on her desk, playing one of those mind-numbing jewel games all the while. Terminal 3 has multiple lounges on the upper level, and they were all full with pages-long waiting lists, so I went in search of a gate seating area that was actually open. AirAsia began as a government-owned full-service carrier in 1996 and did not do too well. In 2001, Tony Fernandez and Kamaruddin Marinan bought the flailing airline for around 25 pennies, with the goal of transforming it into the likes of Ryanair, and that they did. They turned a profit in their first year and are now the largest airline in Malaysia by fleet size and the number of destinations, not even taking into account their multiple franchises in Thailand, the Philippines, Cambodia, and Indonesia. Malaysian AirAsia, the OG AirAsia, currently has 109 narrow-body aircraft with a whopping 359 on order. This doesn't include their AirAsia X brand though, which flies their longer routes at the moment on A330s. They have 18 aircraft with 36 more on order, including 20 of the new A321XLRs. As is the normal with AirAsia in my experience, things were running like clockwork, and boarding began around 5 minutes early. My flight was on a brand new A321neo. Now, so many airlines use A320s and A321s together that it never really occurred to me that AirAsia never had the stretched out version until very recently, so I was curious to try it out. Stepping on board, I was greeted and made my way to my seat 20F. The first few rows and the exit rows all had fancy pillow top headrests. But don't let those or the smart-looking seats fool you. The headrests aren't adjustable, and the seats essentially have no padding at all. These are a big departure from their current A320 seats, which are generally pretty comfortable. AirAsia has always used a version of seats which are slightly narrower than necessary on their A320s so that the aisle is wider, which speeds up boarding. That's fine and quite common on low-cost carriers. I've never really seen it as a noticeable problem. Essentially, the seats are the same width that a 737 would have. For the most part, the seats are just bare bones low-cost seats with USB jacks hidden in the armrest. So what's the problem? I'll let my neighbor, who is around 4 inches shorter than me, demonstrate. Can you tell? These are very short seats. Short enough that I had to jerry-rig a way to measure them. We'll take a look at that in the air. So, using my iPad as a point of reference, these seats are right around 12.5 inches deep, to where it slopes off. Not only that, but the anchor system for the seat belts is similar to what you'd find on Indigo, a hard plastic casing unit, which means that if you scoop back in the seat, it kinda bites you back. I'd say if you're under 5'6" or 167 centimeters, you'll probably be fine. But anyone taller, especially my height of 6 foot or taller, is going to be really uncomfortable after a flight of just about any length, let alone for 4 hours like today's. AirAsia has always been super low cost, but generally passenger friendly in the choices that they make. And this is just a big change for them in my book. Anyway, luckily the food hasn't changed. There's a wide variety available on board. You can even now order nasi lemak in 3 different sizes, something I've never seen any airline offer before. I had pre-booked a normal-sized nasi lemak, which, besides the dried-out egg, hit the spot like normal. That came with a bottle of water. A bit later in the flight, I checked out their drinks menu and was delighted to see that they actually served iced coffee beverages now. As in, not just a sachet of powder. This iced Americano was better than quite a few that I've had at cafes on the ground. The bathrooms were of the micro category and didn't even have a mirror, but they were kept clean. Soon enough, we were descending into Kuala Lumpur. I have Thai AirAsia ranked at a 7, which I think they deserve at the time, and considering they have just 7 A321s in their fleet with 3 on order, I think it's a valid ranking. But for Malaysian AirAsia, they currently have 8 A321s in the fleet, but all 359 of the aircraft that they have on order are A321s. So I will be avoiding them as they come online in a major way, and I'll be putting them at a 4. So I really do hope that you enjoyed this trip report today. If you did, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss my twice weekly videos. The next trip report coming up is on Malaysia Airlines, followed by a quick round the world and back on China Eastern, American, British Airways, and Myanmar Mongolian. As always, thanks for watching until the end.